Hello, everyone. This is the Abundance Oracle in the series of what abundance is and how I acquire my abundance. Number one was cash flow. And you'll see if you go back at series number one in what people think of abundance. Now I'm going to tackle another thing that I consider your family could have to pass down. And if you manage it correctly, you absolutely will. And that's an abundance of knowledge. So that might include actual physical or mental ways. One of my tenants went to Stanford, so he's book smart, okay? Some people, the other tenant I have is a master electrician but specialized, that goes and helps handle especially dangerous electrical issues and hookups. He has a history of being trained by the government, and they've taught him very well. And so he has his own special expertise. Okay, so abundance of knowledge. What type of knowledge do you have? Do you have a knowledge of location? So are you particularly familiar with your location, where there's resources for your location? Do you know what your library provides? Is your library a free public library that anyone can go to? Because if it is, most people will have free resources in their library. Is it a history of family individuals? So I have my great-grandmother, I have my grandmother, which is my kids' great-grandmother, and we have history that my great-grandmother, Crazy Nana, passed down from her knowledge and has passed it down to me. And also documentation, certificates that my grandfather, for example, was a Commodore in the Navy. And he got to be at the country club, the Commodore at the country club. I guess whatever, I don't know. There's some letter from the White House what he does. I'm not as familiar with him, but we have the documentation of that. So just like historical documentation, she now knows her Aunt Mabel, or her father's wife, so that would be her grandparent, Mabel, who, I don't know, she was 1800s. She got married in 1900, and she got wonderful family history that she has passed down, and she is also has a monogrammed Limoges set of china for 12 people that we have garnered and kept in our family and well maintained. And now some of the stuff that it had trim on it, so it needs to be replenished and fixed and things. And I'm the one that's going to be responsible for replenishing those couple of items that need to be gently and lovingly taken care of. And that's going to my first daughter as a birthday wedding type of thing. She had a birthday right before the wedding, the month before the wedding. Okay, so that's family knowledge, family abundance that we are passing down. The other we have some crazy stuff, so I'll just share a little bit of what we have. Everybody has handprints. So when you're a little kid, you do your handprint. So we have generations of handprints. We also have baby's first haircut. Now, some of that got split off to my sister. So all I have is back to my mom. But for my kids, that'll be their grandma. Then they'll have their mother, and then they'll have them, and then they'll have the grandkids. their children, which would be my grandkids. So first haircut ever. So you can have whatever you want, fun things. You know, my mother was a majorette, and I was a cheerleader, and my daughters are cheerleaders. So we have all this extra school activity stuff that we have too, that gets passed down from generation to generation and kept. My grandmother, who lived through the roaring 20s in her best, most fun years, also has pictures of her in the war effort that has had articles written up. So we have the articles about her. Hers, we don't have as much of the Roaring 20 fun pictures or anything, but we do have her newspaper articles about her. And she used to be the rowing reporter. For that, I gave a lot of history and another thing under Crazy Nana. So you can collect that, and if you haven't received any family knowledge in the past from your mom or dad or grandparents, then from memory, you write it down, you find stuff about them, and you take and pass that down to your kids when you have kids. Now, if you're a grandparent, I'm old, so hopefully sometime soon I'll be a grandparent, and I will generate and help my two daughters generate this memorabilia. So you also, if you're a young mom and your mom and dad are still alive, you can go sort of ask and get, you can tape them, video them, DVD them, podcast them, I don't know what it's called, but get them maybe speaking with you about, tell me about the history of the family. And you can pass that, it's not a tape anymore, whatever you would be passing down to your kids. I'm old, so, please help me. What is that called now? What would you pass down? I don't know, whatever. But we have had all my husband used to take, and with those big, huge cameras, we took our own family home videos. Well, my dad used to take slides of people and places that they went. So each generation has a different mode of how to do it. And it's your opportunity to convert all those things into a modern day ability to look at all that family history. So I remember reading about Rush Limbaugh once, and he had some program that you send your videos in, and your little tapes and your videos, and you can get them consolidated, and they can update it to a DVD or online so that you can copy them for your kids. So anyway, there's lots of things you can do, but this is considered for me too, abundance of knowledge. So family history, local history. It's a big deal if you have skill sets, if you can pass those down to your kids. Everybody sewed in my family, and unfortunately when it got to me and my ex-husband became not well, the kids were small, there was no time for me to sit down and show them some of that stuff. We were too busy scraping every penny together to be able to pay for gas and food and everything like that. So there might be some generations that you'll be missing certain aspects, but if you pick up where your mother or grandmother had taught you things, and men, it's the same thing, the dads, some of your dads, my dad knew how to grow organic gardens, he was an electrical, he was a civil, and a something else engineer. We never had to call anybody for repairs. We're just like, Dad, the toilet's not working. He'd say, okay, well, lift up. He would not fix it first because he wanted to teach us. Lift up the back lid and look in. Okay, what am I looking for? He said, is there a chain that's connected, or is it not is it disconnected? Oh, well, once I had a chain, I had to reconnect. He said, okay, let me show you how to reconnect the chain. I mean, there's a fabulousness in learning how to do little things around the house and not have to call someone to do it. I have old radiators here. The house is 1914, it's an old house, and it has a relief valve on it. Well, it was dripping. I tried to tighten it. I couldn't get it to tighten, so obviously it was broken. I didn't know how to replace that without the whole thing draining out down. So I called the plumber. It was $250 for the plumber to come, and the little valve that needed to be replaced was $4 and change. So anything you dads can teach, not just the boys, but the girls, little things make a huge difference. You know, this is stuff AI is not going to be teaching you. So you might be able to pull up a YouTube channel now that can show you how to do this stuff. But this is different than your father or mother teaching you how to do some of this stuff. Canning, ladies, do you know how to can? Maybe you learn to can. Some of the dads know how to can. There's a lot of skill sets that have been over my generation and my kids' generation lost in the ether. So do you have family abundance with knowledge in all different things? Pass it down, document it. Okay, this is the Abundance Oracle. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye. I'll see you at the next one. That's going to be abundance of community and friends. Love you all. Bye-bye.